out here on this very beautiful day and thinking about, I guess, the word fear. A lot of times we hear that courage is the opposite of fear, and I do believe that. And I absolutely love whoever thought of the whole acronym fear, false evidence appearing real. And I was thinking about my specific fears that I have, and I was really thinking sometimes our fears isn't necessarily completely false evidence appearing real. I mean, sometimes there's real risk that's involved. Like some people have spider phobias, whatever type of phobia that a person may have, there is sometimes a potential risk that is tied to that fear. But the problem is when the risk is paralyzing in a sense that it prevents us from doing what we really want to do. I believe that we all obviously are entitled to take the risk that we want to take with our lives, and every aspect of life entails some level of risk. And so we want to ask ourselves the questions, what experience that we're going to have, what choice is worth the risk, what is the potential investment? So I was especially thinking about this as I'm looking forward to returning back to one of my favorite places, Costa Rica. And one of the things that I did to face my fear of heights was to zip line. And not only zip line, but zip line at 6,500 feet, which even when I hear myself say that, it's absolutely insane. And full disclosure, I wasn't quite sure on the amount of courage it would take over and over again to do this zip lining. I thought it was like this one line because I had never zip lined before. I thought it was like this one line, and that once I get the courage to get on this one line, it just takes me all the way to the end. But no, there were 12 posts, and for those who aren't as familiar with zip lining, they're basically like these different stops where you have to get off and get back on. And so I did that on these 12 different posts, which were pretty much tree trunks, but these were like massive tree trunks because we were up all the way in the mountains, like I said, 6,500 feet. So you can imagine how far high we were. Like we literally drove about 45 minutes just to get to the top. And then we zip lined down. And if I be honest with you, I cried like a baby before I got on the top. I felt guilty as a mom, like thinking, are you really about to do this? This was about 5 years ago, or more than that rather. But I did eventually do it. And I think a lot of it had to do with peer pressure. Not that people were pressuring me directly, but I'm like standing here, there's an 8-year-old kid, a 10-year-old kid, and all these other people, and I'm the only one sitting here frantic and terrified. So it did make me, a little bit more encouraged to do it. And, honestly, my main reason for doing it was to face my fears. I wanted that opportunity to face my biggest fear. And I thought that was a really cool way of doing that. And so I ultimately did it. It was an amazing, absolutely amazing experience, a humbling experience, if you can imagine, of just being up there. It was beautiful. The trees, the water, just seeing heights, seeing a view that I've never seen before. I've been in planes, that's far high, obviously, and you feel far more protected. And I've been on ground looking up, but it's a very interesting angle to zip line that high up, whereas you're much higher, obviously, while at the same time being aware that there's a bottom that is right there as well, or not right there, but a lot further than right there. And interestingly, they give you a helmet, but the helmet, I mean, between me and you, it's like, I don't know how much the helmet really would have done, if, God forbid, there was any type of fall. But that being said, do I think I'll ever do it again? I probably won't. But I started thinking about it. Now I'm planning another Costa Rica adventure trip, and they have these beautiful, I cannot believe they're the exact word, but they're bridges, but they're bridges that you walk on, but they're not like the bridges that you're probably thinking of that are made of this very sturdy wood or metal. It's not that type of bridge, and I wish I could remember it. Just slipped my mind the exact name of the bridges, but they're like the loose bridges. So like they're bridges technically someone could slip on through. They're bridges when you walk, they're wobbly, so you get an idea of those bridges that I totally cannot remember the name of them. And so here I'm again, I'm like, gosh, I have to muster up this courage once again to do this. And you know, a lot of things, you know, that we enjoy, there's always some risk involved, and some things we don't enjoy, there's still some risk involved. Like I said, there's risk in living. But at the same time, I just know it's going to be an amazing experience, and it just made me think I would love to come in and talk to someone who really wants to do something, but is paralyzed by fear. And sometimes we're paralyzed by fear and don't even know it. We just think that it's not in our instinct to do it. We really don't feel like doing it right now, or isn't up to it. And sometimes it's really just fear. And a lot of times it's fear regarding things that require far less risk, but yet you get far more reward. So, you know, just reminding you, as I remind myself, you know, everything we want to do isn't always comfortable. Everything that we want to do isn't always something that we've done before. And sometimes in order to get a reward that we want, whatever that reward is, we do have to take some level of risk. So I just hope that you're taking the level of risk that is appropriate for you, that you feel like, you know, perhaps Holy Spirit is telling you is okay for you to take, and that you will be safe in taking, and very importantly, that the reward will be worth the risk. So hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care.